delighted, get excited.
Maybe, but not a lot.
You're gonna see a whole lot of magic. Look at this trick and that trick. And when he says it's not a lot, you'll agree it's such a lot. Meet the man who excels all day long.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A new series is what we have got. And if this is the level of writing, you will like it, but... Now, for my first trick this evening, this basket I'm going to take, I'd like you to meet Sebastian, a most intelligent snake. Now, Sebastian's quite a brainy chap. He invented a game, snakes and ladders. He can do mathematical sums in his head, because he comes from a family of adders. It gets worse, I tell you. You mean it couldn't? He's even got a young brother. He'll make you shiver and shake. He'd make a nice toy for some baby boy, because he's a young rattlesnake. Well, at these prices, what do you expect? Now then, you will have come to the realization this were not written by one of the bards, but Sebastian's first demonstration is a trick with a packet of cards. Would you, sir, please select one card and show it to those at the back? I'd like you now to remember it, right? And then bung it back in the pack. Poetry in motion. You made a mess of that, didn't you? Right. I'll give the pack a shuffle to mix them all up, all right? And confuse the snake when I ask it. To try to pick out the chosen card from the pack, which I'll drop in the basket. Right. Come on, Sebastian. Find the card. I'm certain you can if you try. There he goes. Round and round, in and out, up and down. My goodness, he's making things fly. Here he comes. Where's the card? This is not quite what we expected. What's that? How can we expect you to find the card when you don't know which one was selected? That's right, you don't. Neither do I. No wonder we're both very confused. Could you help us, please, sir, by telling us now the name of the card that you chose? Well, you rhyme it then. I beg your pardon, sir?
Six of spades.
Six of spades. I hope Sebastian heard of that. The card that was yours, because here he comes with a card in his mouth. It's correct. It's the six. Cue applause. And now, there's just one final test we'd like to try for you. For this, we use 3 colored balls, one red, one blue, one white. Who put this together? One red, one white, one blue. Right. And in this test, Sebastian will prove his versatility. To name a color called for, psychic capability. You're free to choose a color now, because you've got a choice of 3. The lady chose the red one, so the red one it shall be. I'll drop the balls in one by one. The blue, the red, and the white. And now, come on, Sebastian. I hope he gets it right. There's one, it's blue. That's not right. Come on, son, use your brains. Up. Another one. That one's white. Blimey, he's wrong again. Ah, but now there's only one ball left. And if it's left, it must be red. And here's Sebastian coming up. Success has gone to his head. This particular part of the program we call under laboratory conditions, because there's a kind of magic that some people think is psychic, you know. They believe people are psychic, people like Uri Geller. And scientists investigate these people and usually agree that they're psychic. So what we've got here is a particular trick, and every week we're going to have one of these kind of tricks, and which we try to compete with the psychics, you see. Nothing for you to worry about because your instructions are very simple. Your name is?
Matty.
Matty, and you're from our jury, yes? And your name?
Barry.
Barry, nice to meet you, Barry. Barry is here really as an independent witness. He's going to make sure Matty carries out the instructions in the laboratory absolutely as I tell her, okay? All you do is under here, you see, this set of cards. Now, they've got black flaps on, and the black flaps cover different designs. That one is a diamond, and there's lots of different designs, okay? That one's a square. Square, of course, was used in the original extrasensory perception tests. That is a crescent-shaped moon, each one, and you're here to make sure it's absolutely simple, like that. That is a heart, all right? Oh, this one's upside down. So let's have a look at this. What is it? It's a circle, all right? This one is also upside down. What is it? Oh, wavy lines, okay? We take that, all right? And we take this. This is a star, and as you can see, this one is a triangle. I'm showing you them all to show you the range of choice that you've got, because you are going to pick one of these. It's an egg. Funny shaped egg, isn't it? It's an egg nevertheless. And this is back to the diamond. So that's what you've got. What I want you to do, Barry, is just mix those up, all right? Just take them in your hands. Don't try to shuffle them because they're not like cards. You'll stick in the flap. But just mix them up so that no one knows which symbol is in which order. Now, you'll have noticed this. Now, this is a sheet of aluminium foil, metal foil. I say aluminium, but I don't know what it is. It's a metal foil, certainly. And that, too, is opaque, okay? Above here, we have a camera. Now, this camera is there for a very special reason. When the cards... Thank you. Happy with that? Good. When the cards are spread out like this, Matty, I want you to just select one card, all right? Don't lift the flap, then no one will know what the symbol is that's underneath it. In other words, nobody can tell me. You will take one of the cards, you'll place it on the foil, fold the foil round it, put the foil on this sheet of perspex, okay? That is a sheet of perspex. And that means that once it's in there, and this is covered over the top, the other sheet of perspex, if you put the rubber bands round like that, I will not be able to feel anything through the perspex. Now, that is just about as simple as I can make the instructions, and then after you've done all that, just say yes. Oh, before you say yes, gather all these cards up and hide them, put them in your pocket or whatever, so I can't get at them. And I will attempt to find out what the symbol is that even you don't know, and certainly you don't know at home. To do that so that I can't possibly see, I'm going behind that metal wall, all right? Now, when I go behind here, I face the jury members that are remaining in their seats. You can see there are no television cameras or monitors or anyone else passing me signals. What I want you to do, Matty, is select one of the symbolic cards, any one at all, and put it onto the aluminium foil, the metal foil, and fold the ends in so that, and make sure that it's well creased down so that I can't possibly see in the edges. And when you've done that, when you've folded the foil up, just say yes.
Yes.
Now, pick it all up at fingertips, remember, and place it in the middle of the perspex that's on the table. And then put the other sheet of perspex on the top. And then put the rubber bands round. In a proper laboratory, of course, I would be next door, and someone else would be doing all this, but tonight it's your chance, Matty. Have you done all that?
Nearly.
Good. Pick the rest of the cards up and either hide them in your hands or put them in a pocket. Tell me when they're out of sight. Have you done that?
Yes.
Good. Now I would come back from the room next door, and I would have to say to you this. You don't know what the symbol is that's concealed in there, do you? Come a little closer. If you look closely at it, it's all sealed up. You fold the edges all the way over. There's no way you can feel anything. Just feel that, would you? There's no way at all. Nothing at all.
No.
So, do you know what the symbol is that's in there?
No.
No. And neither do I. But the clairvoyant, the psychic, would go into a trance-like state and say, it is the star. The shape that you chose was the star. The only way you could find out if he was right was to take off the rubber bands, like so. Then what you do is you take the sheet of perspex, you can have that. Take that, okay? Now we unfold this. And in folding this, remember, I made the claim that I believed that in there was the star. You like that, Barry? Okay. Now, if I am right, I might be psychic or a magician. And remember that this test was carried out under laboratory conditions. Very recently, I was appearing in the Tropicana show in Las Vegas, the Folie Bergère. And also in that show were two guys doing an incredible balancing act. And I asked them to come over, and they did. And they're here. They are Mario and Ulysses. Hey, it's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be in London.
Really
in your
nice.
show.
Nice seeing you again.
Nice to see you too.
But the condition we talked about back in Las
There
Vegas.
was a condition. I said, you come on this show, it's got to be a triple act.
And for the first time ever on any television,
Ever.
live here tonight,
Live here
a
tonight.
trio of Mario
Ulysses.
and Paul.
Paul.
Ta-da! Here we go.
What do I do now?
Stunt number
Hands.
one.
Right there.
Stunt number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Okay, a little higher.
A little
There you go,
higher.
A little lower. Drum roll, please. Closer.
We were really good.
Feel so sorry.
Who needs him?
Now for the solo.
I bend over.
Bend over. Arch your back.
It is arched.
Okay.
Oh.
Count of three.
1, 2, 3. Really good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is one of the world's most difficult balancing feats. Watch this very, very closely. Gentlemen, you have your daggers? Roll up, whilst we are waiting for the crowds to gather here in Ballyhoo Corner to see what is behind that curtain. Let me tell you that what is behind that curtain is a sight worth seeing. 'Tis wondrous to behold, and before you even get that far, do you know what you're going to see, sir? An exhibition of digital dexterity, the like of which you are never likely to see again. Here we have a pack of cards, and let me just check that there are 52 there. Yes, there are 52 cards there. Some of you may not believe that. We shall give them a little ruffle, shuffle, and we'll put them back there. Would you believe that it is possible for a man to count at that speed? Would you believe that, madam? No, I wouldn't. Well, let me tell you that it is possible for me to cut the cards like that and just count them very, very quickly indeed with a sort of a... I think there's 17 there. All right? Of course, I may be two out in either direction, but nevertheless, there might just be 17 there. The lady in the red blazer, would you just trot yourself over here, Mrs. Woman? Thank you very much. What's your name?
Peggy.
Peggy, step right on board there, Mrs. Peggy, and I want you to just turn round and face that way, okay? Don't kick the plug or you'll put all the lights out on the front of me little booth. Right. Now, hold your hand out, Peggy. 17, I think I said. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Digital dexterity, madam. That's what it's all about. Digital dexterity. Yes, indeed. A trick taught to me by a very old magician called Cy Stebbins. Would you like to learn it, madam?
Yes.
Would you? Well, it's very simple indeed. All you have to do is this. I want you, madam, to just take some of the cards from the top there, like that. Just cut as many or as few as you like. Just take some straight up, like that. And what I want you to do is, when you've got that many, hold them against your ear, okay? And flick the edges of the card. That's all you've got to do. Just flick the edges of the cards. Flick them. That's it. How many are there? No, you don't count them like that. You just go, there's 11, okay? Yeah, go on, be confident. How many are there?
13.
Count them onto my hand, madam, and count them quickly and smoothly and swiftly.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11.
I was right.
Yes.
Digital dexterity. All right? Thank you. Thank you, please. There's a shame about that, because I was in the mood tonight to be giving away money. Money to the people who gathered to see what is behind this curtain. How much money is there, do you think? You should be able to count by now. 50. Very good, because there is exactly 50, madam. Step a little forward so the camera can see you and the people at home can see your sunny smile. We'll remove the rubber band, because there's 50 pounds there, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of the table. Would you believe that with digital dexterity it's possible to remove as many or as few of those as we possibly want and know exactly how many there were? No. A little louder, madam.
No.
Much better. Right. Well, it is possible, and what's more, I've got more money here. More money indeed I have got here. Would you believe? Another 50. We put that down there. Now, there's another 50 pounds. I'm going to let you cut the money. Before we do that, just in case anyone at home has been very clever and thinks that this stuff is in numerical order, which would be a very good way to do it, and I just thought of it, what I'm going to do is just shuffle them like that, and cut them, all right?
Yes.
We put those there. Now, Peggy, now what I want you to do, sweetheart, is just reach across there and just cut the cards. Well, they're not the cards now, it's money. But just cut the money anywhere at all you like, all right? If you cut very deep, it'll take us all night to count them. If you cut too shallow, it'll be over too fast. Just a thought. Fed up of waiting for you. Come on, Peggy. Cut the pound notes anywhere at all you like. And when you cut the pound notes, what you've got to do is very simple. You take those pound notes and you riffle them like you did the playing cards, all right? Riffle them just like you did the playing cards. Brrr, like that. 34. How many did you think there were?
34.
It's not much of a bet, Peggy. But 34. I'll tell you what, though, because they are very thin, if I'm more than one out in either direction, more than one out, you can have all the money, all right? And that camera. Now, 34. Hold your hand out. 34 is what I said, and 34 is what it will be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Halfway.
Yes.
Halfway. 18, 19, 20, and I'll throw in a 100-piece breakfast set. Packet of cornflakes. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Of course, if I got 34, you lose the £100 breakfast set, you lose everything. But the audience will give you an enormous burst of applause.
Thank you.
So when I count this final 4, remember, the applause is not for me, it's for Peggy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Money, money, money. But money is not the reason that you have come here. Money is not the reason. You have come to the Ballyhoo Corner to see what's behind that curtain. This week in the Ballyhoo Corner, we are about to present to you a very old sideshow illusion. And in this illusion, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see something so horrible you will not believe it. Behind the curtain, underneath that cloth, resting on that sword, there is an head. An head. And that head, ladies and gentlemen, is not a replica, it is not a waxworks dummy from Madame Tussauds, because there is only one sword. Boom, boom. And it is, in fact, a live, breathing, as you can see, giggling head. Try this.
I ain't got nobody.
It's Anita Harris.
Would you like to see my psychic powers?
Pardon? What now? Ladies and gentlemen, I too have psychic powers. I know who's on next, you see. I know that it is a gentleman who's known as one of the world's greatest sound impressionists. Only the sounds, it's quite interesting. And I tell you what, if I concentrated on his name with your psychic powers, you could announce him, okay? I'll concentrate. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff.
Knock, knock.
Товар добрый вьюзный, секундно, стоя.
Hello, darling. There's a slow with darling. It's a nice one.
Toyota, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Mitsubishi, Yashica, Minota.
Let me tell you about P.T. Selbit. It's going to be very brief. In 1921, that man invented a trick that became a big feature in many magic shows since. Some have altered it for the better and some have altered it for the worse. But what P.T. Selbit did was saw through a woman. Now, we've gone right back to the beginning of time for this trick anyway, and of course, the first essential, you need a woman and a box to put her in. But this version, well, it was different to all those that came after that. Look at this down here. You see, this is a rope that's knotted round the ankle. It's sash cord, rough stuff. There's another one there. This one is tied to the wrist, you can see that. And this one is also tied to a wrist, so there's 4. And the 5th one here is tied round the neck. And at this stage, I must warn people at home who are viewing, especially the young ones, never tie anything round your neck. It's very, very dangerous. Never, all right? Now, we think we know what we're doing here, but even we can make mistakes. Gentleman that did all this tying wasn't a member of the BBC staff, wasn't me. It was John, gentleman from our jury. Nice to meet you again, John. And what I want you to do is come a bit nearer, John. We gave you a marking pen. You tied Debbie up.
Correct.
Okay? And in the tying up of Debbie, we've sealed them all off with sellotape. I want you to just sign or initial or put a mark on there. And the moment the trick is over, I want you to make sure that that is still on there. In other words, that nothing's been tampered with or messed around with, okay? Right. And because I'm generous, you can keep the pen. Right. So, if you just step to one side, we open up the box, and when we open up the box, thank you very much, you can see inside. It's just a wooden box, plain planks. The reason it was made like this was so that Selbit could have a new box every night, all right? If it goes wrong, he needed a new girl every night. Would you just step inside the box, walk this way? Right, now as you can see, she fills the box, and they would take the ropes and pass them out through little holes in the side. Once it was passed out like that, when you watch this very closely, John, if we pull this like this, her wrist is pulled to the inside. Do have a quick look, you're all right. And it's pulled up. There's no way she can pull in like that, especially if I do a dirty deed and on the outside put a knot. Now, if I put a knot on there like that and then pull it, you can see that that tightens onto the side and she's got no spare rope inside, okay? We're going to do exactly the same thing now, with this through that side, which will be tied off on the other side. This one, which will go right through the top. And we have a knot here so that Debbie won't get hung when it's pulled very tight, okay? Yes, thank you. Right. Now, this one we're going to put out through the bottom hole there, and this one out through the bottom hole. Just lift your foot out through there. Now, when those get pulled tight like that, you can see that Debbie has absolutely no slack rope at all in there, okay? And if you'd like to check the knots on the outside, would you like to do that? You tied the ones on the inside, you might as well have a look around the outside. And whilst you're doing that, okay, happy with that? Yeah? No spare space at all. We're going to shut the box and we're going to close the doors like that, and we're going to turn the box round. Now, when we turn it round, you can see here, John, there are hasps on the side. Through the hasps go little pegs, all right? The pegs just keep the box shut, all right? Now, stand over there, John, because the boys are going to tip this box up. Now, when they tip the box up, what Selbit used to do, first of all, before he ever did the sewing through, you see, was he would take sheets of glass. We have got sheets of glass, and they're over here. Now, with the sheets of glass, which you can see here, like this, okay, there, I mean, it can't bend. It's quite solid stuff, all right? And it's marked fragile, more for the benefit of us than anything else. But you should be able to see this going through. The ropes, of course, pulled very tight so that Debbie can't move around at all. And we just pull this through there and cut her head off. Now, once we've got the head bit off, of course, it's a bit difficult. There it is. You can see that going through there. You happy with that? Because you're the independent witness for this one. We can take this, and it's another piece of glass, and we just go like this, and we cut off the legs, right? Now, once we've done that, you can see now she's more or less in 3 pieces. Then, you take this, and you split the torso, like so, okay? And the strange thing about magicians who do this, they smile when they're doing it. It's one of the weird things. And you just take this, and you split the other end even more so than the torso, right? Put that through there. So now we have her more or less cut up. There's one piece of glass left. We'll just put that in. And this was where Selbit hit a snag. You see? just sort of, the hip bone was a nuisance. So he would take the saw, all right? And so began one of the most famous tricks in the history of show business, sawing through a woman. Right through the woman. And that, of course, made a nice, neat slot for this to go all the way through. And he would take a box and prove the lady was now split up into lots of tiny little pieces. Of course, it became necessary by law to put her back together again. So what he would do then is just, first of all, put back on the legs, and then, of course, working in reverse, more or less, he would put back on the head, and then he would possibly restore the torso, right? And then he would restore the legs, like so, like that, leaving only the middle part, all right, to put back together. He would take that out, like so. Now, a lot of people used to think the girl had disappeared from the box. This was not true, and the way he proved it was simple. He pulled it apart and showed that the girl was still in there. All right? You know that? Right. Taking a knife, we cut off the ropes all the way around, another one on the front there, and once the ropes are cut off, what he did was he took out the little wedges, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you found inside one restored lady. Okay? Thank you very much. That was good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. The end of another magic show, however. Tune in next week and we'll be back and it will be magic.
Paul Daniels is currently appearing in his own show at the Opera House, Blackpool.
All our magic,